So I'm legally obligated to tell you that we did not, in fact, have any hiccups when attempting to do this Friday night stream, and that we are not, in fact, starting a half an hour later than we have planned to. Nope, not at all. I'm also legally obligated to tell you that we've got most of our crew here. One of them, I'm pretty sure his computer blew up and looking up cat memes. But speaking of memes, we get the rest of our meme-worthy crew here. We've got Scumbag Steve, which is OPT lawyer.
Hi, Hey.
Chameleon Ice definitely needs more cowbell.
Woo!
I'm 99% certain that Norastra is, in fact, the distracted boyfriend meme.
Huh?
And, well, we've got Krim, who is going to have a picture right now, but I'm pretty sure he's still doing his best Pepe the Frog impression. I'm not sure, though.
No. Tonight I'm totally the Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined meme.
Do you have your bowl of Skittles?
I am TGE. I am a giant banana meme, so I don't need to worry about that for myself.
Hey. That's not appropriate here.
The problem is he fulfilled that today by turning one of the Discords into a giant banana pun fest.
So proud of that.
Which Discord? Because I want to go take part.
Off topic Z1R, go. You'll see what I did. Anyway, welcome to Bay City Chronicles, everybody, for a special Friday edition of the Bay City Chronicles. The reason this is a special Friday edition here live on Twitch is because Sunday, myself and Crimson Addicts have got something a little bit special that we have to do over on somewhere else. If Krim wants to explain it later, he can, but that's not about that. This is about Bay City Chronicles. So, we're going to get to that. What we have coming up for you is Volume 5, Sanctuary City, Issue 4, Invitations. So with that, if you have not already done so, you might want to catch up on at least Volume 5, because to say that it's been straight fire would probably be an apt description, but might be selling some of it short. And that's with mostly without Malk here either. Ha!
Oh, I get it.
So we've had a bunch of character introductions, we've had a bunch of stuff. We've determined that you can, in fact, become addicted to an energy drink that's masquerading as a drug.
I mean...
We also have
more than just a
totally not a space laser.
It's not a space laser! Anton's got a gaudy...
laser. Talks like a space laser. It's totally a space laser.
Anton's got a gaudy gold car. And may or may not be a slumlord down at the docks. Speaking of...
I love how he's just a slumlord now, suddenly.
Yeah.
What I really want to know right now, though, because it's been bothering me for the past 4 episodes.
Yep.
Lutra, what key is that song written in?
Whichever one you want it to be, because I don't know music theory.
Hey, that's cheating.
Probably C minor.
I'd guess B flat. Because he's new at music.
Well, that's only his crush with the anvil.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, speaking of said docks, that is where we're going to start, is down at the docks.
Actually, in respects to a certain member of our crew's GPU, I think the song's written in F sharp.
I was going to say, the correct joke for the question I ask is it's written in A sharp 1, but yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I prefer the any key, but that's just me.
Right.
That is a fun one, too.
So, is Lutra going all Otis Redding on us right now?
I don't know what you're talking about, but sure.
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
Oh, no,
Watching the tide roll in.
Right. Not quite.
That hasn't happened. But it's been hinted at.
He came close.
You did.
Now, right now, Lucha is laying on his sofa.
Well, right now we're going to get to that in a minute. As I said, we're starting down at the docks. We are starting down at the manager's office / house of this apartment complex. And Anton, you just finished. Basically, you've been back home for a couple of hours now because you went back to the docks, and Kestrel went back to Stormbreaker Tech. This is probably 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on after you guys completely destroyed the bodyguards and whatever at the secret Gendine facility.
That's not a secret.
No, it's not. It's a secret to nobody. So, why don't you go ahead and describe a little bit of the area you're sitting in your little abode and what you've been doing for the past couple of hours.
It's a small little, kind of like if you've ever been to a travel motel. It's got the bed, kind of a little small kitchen dining area, and a couch with a TV in it. And at this point, Anton's going through the mail, checking voicemails, getting all the complaints about 106 in the different rooms. As we have music theory chat here in Discord. But
I mean, if we want to talk about that, I was involved in a Discord conversation that was philosophically and epistemologically breaking down the lyrics in the Kids Bop version of Old Town Road.
Yeah, you can keep that to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but Anton's got, gathered all the complaints, just putting them down in a spreadsheet, documenting all that, noting what he's got to do in the morning, who he's got to go talk to. Obviously, we got to go deal with the fish smell and the guy talking about music in 106.
126.
We'll deal with that in the morning. Is it 126? 126.
126. Well,
so Anton's just kind of winding down after, mopping the floor with Gendine.
Yes. Well, about that. You're just getting yourself settled, ready to go, and there is a furious rapping on your door, and it's I know you're an Anton, please open up, I need you to hurry. It's a voice you pretty sure you recognize? Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Oh, you're already going to make me roll.
Well, do you have skill mastery insight?
I don't know. Everything crashed.
There's well, he did the nanotech thing and got the Bruce
Right,
Wayne.
I can't remember if skill well, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about it right now. But yeah, you definitely, you're pretty sure you recognize the voice, but there's part of you that's like, there's no way in hell that voice should be out here. Because it definitely sounds like that, who should in no way, shape, or form be anywhere near California right now.
Anton's going to spring up and open the door.
It's definitely then. He definitely is pale as a ghost, and he doesn't start to explain everything. He's just trying to physically drag you with him, and when he realizes that he's not going to be able to pull you, because he definitely can't, you feel a stiff gust of wind start pushing you down the hallway.
Seriously, you had to pull the wind out?
Go!
You could just...
Come with me!
Where?
Here! By the time you guys are done arguing, he has thrown the door of room 126, pushes you inside, where you see, well, OPT, what does he see?
Well, what he sees is an apartment room that, is a little disheveled. Because, there's been an otter who's been living in there for about a couple days now. But what do you actually see on the sofa is, Lucha is laying on the sofa. He's clearly... he's very pale. He's breathing very shallowly. And he also appears to be very unconscious and unresponsive and very much so in bad shape.
How do I know he's pale?
Because he has no colors in the membranes of his ears.
Okay. Do I have to roll a check here to understand the otter physiology?
You know that there's something not right about this. And you just... his nose is dry, exactly. No, you just hear a... well, he was... Apparently he just decided to just quit cold turkey, whatever he was doing, and now he's detox crashing hard. I don't know what to do with... Help.
Okay.
Hunter told me you'd be here, so I at least knew I had some help. And
So Anton takes the Anton off of him. That doesn't ever get old. And places it gently on Lutra and activates the regeneration cycle on.
Odds or evens?
Evens.
Okay. So, what's going to happen here is the little marble of nanotech sort of comes off, and he puts it on Lutra, and then hits something, and it sort of starts to sort of do this weird, like, dissolve into multiple little tiny nanobots. And if you didn't know what was happening, it would look like Lutra was being covered with this sort of like waterfall sheen of, for lack of a better term, silver shimmer dust. So Lutra has now turned into the vampire from Twilight. No,
All right, we're out. I'm leaving him. Bye, Lutra. Run, you're out. I don't do sparkly otters. Sparkly vampires.
It's shimmering. And while it's definitely stabilizing him, the nanotech is not made to fight off relapse and, and addiction things. So it's stabilizing him, but you definitely need to get him somewhere where he can be detoxed properly.
All right, Vin, you got one of those portals handy?
No? What are you talking about?
No, that's right.
Yeah, all you know that was future Ven who can do that.
That's right.
I keep getting everyone confused.
All right, you get the tail, and I'll take the head, and we'll carry him. Or actually, hold on.
Well, hold on. I can do this, and he does some weird, fancy handwork, some somatic, and he just. You're not entirely sure how this works, but floating there in front of you appears to be a solid air stretcher, like gurney, like the 2-person gurney.
Nice.
Okay, this works.
Like the old World War II medical gurney type of deal.
Can you launch him with the wind, too?
I mean, I could, but I heard that the last time that happened, bad things ended up going on, and I don't know if he's in a place to brace himself for the landing.
Fair point. Let's get him to Dr. Casey. Maybe he'll know what to do with the silly otter.
So we have just a couple of comic panels that are Anton, who is this pretty good sized soldier, and then we have this 5'8", 170-pound college freshman trying to carry this gurney together on it with a semi-comatose otter who is shimmering. So
totally not drawing any attention at all. Where's the car?
Yeah, where is the car? Yeah, getting into the ridiculously gaudy gold car at the front parking spot. But no, not drawing any attention at all.
No, of course not.
So as this is going on, since your location is going to be Stormbreaker Technologies, we're going to shift back to said Stormbreaker Technologies. And where we left off with everybody was Kestrel had just met Jay.
Just very briefly.
He said those dirty, dirty words.
Yep. So Jay has just said Kestrel that he's from the government and he's here to help. What can we do?
Well, first, Kestrel's kind of looking up at him because he was playing video games with Hunter, having a nice old time. So can I help you?
Well, yes, you can. I mean, there's a lot you can actually help me with, as well as the others here. That's specifically why I targeted Casey. I didn't expect to see you here, but it's a nice coincidence.
So you were looking for me.
Well, being that you're a talking squirrel, you kind of fit what the government is looking for.
And that would be this whole, monitoring the Meta Humans thing?
Yeah, basically collecting the names just so we are aware of what superhumans contain what power. So if anything were to happen, we would basically know where we could start our searches for any massive destruction or anything like that.
Doesn't that sound kind of like an invasion of privacy?
Well, I mean, I just work for the government. I'm just doing what they're asking, and it's supposedly going to help. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, if you guys just sign the documents, let me submit them, goes over a whole lot easier. It's much better than the alternative.
What's the alternative?
Well, did you ever see Lutra shoot the crossbow yet?
I actually don't think I have.
Yeah. Well, he was notorious for missing just shooting people, and well, imagine that with a dart that kind of puts you to sleep, and then we take a blood sample
I've
and
imagined
all
enough.
that.
I've imagined more than enough at this point. So what you're saying is either sign the documentation, or you guys are going to kidnap me like a rhino on safari.
No. I'm not going to. No. That's when the bad people come in. I'm the good guy, really, and that's how you should see it. Is I'm the good guy. I'm the guy who's here peacefully.
So, can I do it later?
Yeah. I mean, really, it was. I'm here for several days, and by the time I leave, any superhuman or metahuman or meta two-legged creature that can talk, anyone in the Bay City area should be registered. If they're not, they may be subjected to, well, the bad version.
The bad version where you basically treat us like science experiments so you can't.
Not me. I absolved myself from that. I was specifically told to them that I would not participate in that at all. It is not a threat. It is more of a precaution.
But you're from the government, right?
I'm an extension of the government, but I am not the one that's doing this part. I'm doing this part, not the other part.
I see. Well, the other part sounds really bad. So I'd like to avoid it.
I'm assuming by this point we've shown up with Lutra, right?
Yeah, nope.
So what if we just promise really hard not to do anything with our meta abilities?
I can't speak on behalf of the people in charge here. All I can do is tell you what I've been told, and that's that they need to sign, or else they will be documented by force. Which, I mean, I get it. It's force both ways, but at least this way you get to keep all of your blood.
That's a really wonderful deal. He actually look at you for a second. Are you a metahuman?
No, I'm just a government official that really got this crap end of this deal.
Oh, so you don't even want to be doing this.
And on that note, the elevator dings, and there is a large scramble of, well, Nora, Anton, what is the large cacophony of noises this elevator door opens?
Well, you hear the sounds of. Well, I don't know if this would make sounds at this point because it's air.
Well, it's solid air. Like, it's solid air. It's not doing anything.
Yeah. So you hear Anton and Vin both huffing and puffing, complaining about how heavy the otter is.
And as we're stumbling in, Jay looks over and he's like, "Yeah, no, definitely don't want to be doing this."
Well, you do know where the medical section is. You don't need to ask about that.
Kestrel, go get Dr. Casey.
Oh my gosh, what happened to Lutra?
Yeah, he's OD'd on something. Get Dr. Casey. We're taking him to the medical.
Gotcha. Kestrel flies off in a flash to get to Casey.
He hears, and Jay hears this, and he says, "Oh, thank God he OD'd."
So at this point, the only person in the room with you when you say that is Hunter.
Oh!
He just looks at you.
Oh!
Because remember, Kestrel was playing video games with him. He never left. He just looks at you. And why is it okay that he OD'd? With this pure look of terror on his face?
Well, do you remember the conversation I was just having with Kestrel? If it wasn't an OD, if he wasn't passed out from an OD, then there's a very good chance that he would have been passed out from a tranquilizer, which is much worse.
I'm sorry, hold on a second. What?
But that... How is a trank worse than getting that? He could die!
Yes, he could also die if the government decided to tranquilize him and draw his blood. Because here's the thing. If they don't sign the paper and the government has their blood, they have access to their DNA.
I know that technically I don't really have anything to do with this, but I think it would be best if you got out of here right now. And he is looking as positively angry as a 12-year-old can.
I understand you're angry, but trust me, that is a big relief. You have no clue.
He's not even going to say anything anymore. He's just going to sprint past you at this point to go to, obviously, towards the medical section. Because his options were to, A, run to the medical section, or B, reveal to you that he has powers, which is a bad idea. But he was 50-50 to blast you. So we are going to get a quick little full comic panel spread of, at this point, Casey, much to his chagrin, being speed dragged by Kestrel down into the medical ward, where at this point we have Lutra on the solid air stretcher, Shimmery, and we just have Casey walks in, sees this, and just starts spouting off medical terms that, like, normally, like, none of you have any clue. He's like, go do this, go do that. I need some lofexidine hydrochloride, I need that. And he's just spouting off a bunch of things. And the interesting thing that you understand, Anton, is the fact that up until a couple of days ago, you would have no idea what the heck he was talking about, but you know exactly what he means when he says lofexidine hydrochloride.
Ooh.
And for those of you at home, lofexidine hydrochloride is it's a drug that is used to ease the symptoms of withdrawal when rapid detoxification is needed.
Yeah.
It is approved for use up to 14 days only.
Yeah.
It's usually used in conjunction with methadone.
Yep.
And because of the nature of the fact that this is a medical nanotechnology place, lofexidine hydrochloride and methadone are easily accessible.
Oh yeah, I actually figured that this guy's got like access to like pretty much all pharmaceuticals and whatnot.
I mean, or you could also go with Suboxone.
There's that.
But
I know what all of those.
TG's researched this too much.
TGE has a tab open on his computer with all of this.
I actually know all of this because
He just doesn't
my
natively.
job. Yeah.
But regardless, Anton, now that Lutra has been hooked up and is being taken care of, removes the Anton from him and then reacquires it.
Lutra stops shimmering.
Aw, it's okay. I was more Team Jacob anyway.
Do you mumble this?
No, no. No, he's in a coma and unconscious, so no.
No matter how true.
Anton just looks over there and goes, he watched Twilight? Okay, what?
Kestrel, meanwhile, is flying kind of back and forth, like looking at Lutra, like, oh no, Lutra, and flying at the case, like, what do we do? So, no, Lutra, like, what can we do?
And at this point,
Sit down.
Casey, yeah. So he's like, I need time to work. You guys just go. Hunter, stay here. I'll need your help. Everyone else go.
He's good, Kestrel. Come on.
Okay,
Let's go. Who was that guy you were talking to?
Did he give his name? I don't think so.
He did. He did last session.
Okay, his name was Jay, and he said he was from the government and here to help, but then he threatened me with, like, tranquilizing me and dragging me in and draining my blood to get my DNA.
I mean, this is help.
I mean, that sounds helpful.
It had something to do with the whole Meta Human registration thing they're trying to do. Like, it's yeah.
So that's what the mech suits are for.
The mech suits?
Remember the place we busted up? I mean, that I busted up while you... Yeah.
Right.
So those are mech suits.
Right.
Or the place I'm working undercover is a mech suit testing area. And they're probably equipping their agents to handle superhumans because, well, you know, a normal human's not going to stand up to a squirrel that can run fast.
I mean, yeah, they shouldn't. But, so that means this is really bad then, right?
It's not good. But, so basically they'd be sending me after you. So I'm not too sure you should worry about that. I mean, there's others, but, you know, I think you can outrun.
True. But still, it feels kind of wrong. Like, they want to put us, like, it sounds like they want to put us on a list or something, and, like, they'd be able to basically have access to all of our data, and, like, with the whole satellite thing or the death laser, like, that just sounds like a really bad combination for the government to have all of that.
Editor's note: it's totally not a space laser.
Yeah, sure. We'll buy that when we actually get to that. But no, it's definitely bad. This Vernon is a horrible guy. Worked for the company. Like, this is the worst case for anyone who's superhuman. I technically have nanotech in me now, but technically don't apply to the conventions because I'm not super. I just used a mech suit.
Hmm.
All my powers have been granted to me via item, not physical. So if I lose the item, they can't charge me with being a superhuman.
It sounds like you're going to make being a superhero a crime.
It is, basically.
I knew this was going to be a problem.
But don't worry.
Why
I'm
not?
not from the government.
Yes.
And I'm going to.
And on that, we are going to shift scenes again. This time, we're going to get the comic panel. It is another full-page panel of everybody in, of Dr. Casey and Hunter in this operating thing. And there's just a bunch of, there's a flurry of activity. Like Hunter's handing Dr. Casey some things. Lutra at this point is hooked up to like more IV bags than you would care to count. I mean, he basically is a freezing mechanism away from being a slushy machine. Hey,
we did have Lucha Pops earlier.
It was free Slurpee Day yesterday. What can I say?
We did have Lucha Pops earlier.
we got Lucha Pops. We're going to have Kestrel Crunchies coming up here.
Patent pending.
That was a spoiler. But now what we're going to do is we had a little side panel of the comic, and it's actually zooming in, as you guys can see on your screen, to, this is the layout that I like to use for Mindscapes.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, so this is going to be...
Quickly before we get into that, if we're going to have Kestrel Crunchies now, can we at least create FB fries?
What?
FB fries.
Huh.
No? Okay.
Way to ruin the mood!
Good.
Insert crickets chirping here, editor.
Good. Kill the stream. Good night, everyone.
Play us off.
So, as I said, we are going to be going into this mindscape, where sort of sitting there, this is, again, the inside of Lutra's mind. It's a lot more warped than the last time we saw anything going on in here, which the last time was when Phantasm and Shemhaze did their little dance. But yeah, things are a lot more warped. Half of the mindscape is moving like at super speed, like everything's like shaking it and vibrating super fast. The other half is like moving at normal speed, and they're sort of like converging at one. It's this weird sort of maelstrom of energies, and just sort of there in the middle is Lutra. What's going on with Lutra inside his headspace right now?
Boy. What isn't going on inside Lutra's mindscape right now? He would be kneeling down on whatever the heck ground there is, hugging himself, sobbing silently, or just not loudly, just kind of mumbling things to himself, looking around kind of scared.
I mean, you definitely know, like, you're aware that this is inside your head because you've seen it before. This is sort of the same place you were having conversations with Dev.
Oh yeah, no, I know. That's
so
why he's nervous and scared, because he didn't want to ever come back here.
Well, this goes on for a couple of minutes, and then you just hear, do you want to see him again?
Who?
You know exactly Do you want to see him again?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they want to...
I can help make that happen. And as you look up, there is not the full-on physical form, but an astral projection type thing of this fine gentleman.
Okay. I've seen this place before. The last time something was here, it didn't end up so good.
Perhaps. But I'm not physically in here. I'm just talking.
Doesn't
You
really
have
make me feel better.
You have no obligation to do anything that I ask or say. But I think the offer I have is quite something we should.
Okay. What? Okay. Sure, whatever. What? Who are you, and what do you want with me?
My name is Jeremiah. And my employer is very benevolent and knows that you are in desperate need to see somebody again. My employer can make this happen.
How?
Sometimes it's best to not ask for all of the details, but suffice to say that in making this happen, nobody at all will be harmed.
The Joe kind of tilts his head, looks at him kind of curious, and says, "But that wasn't the question I asked."
But that's the answer you're giving.
But how do you know? Whoever you are, you should know.
I don't claim to know everything that my employer does, but everything that they have prognosticated so far has come true. I'm not one to disbelieve in.
Oh, I see.
So I ask the question again. Do you want to see him again?
I said the answer is yes, but I have a question of my own. What in the world does prognosticate mean?
Oh, I was warned about things like
Oh. Sorry.
why are you apologizing?
I don't... People always look at me funny when I ask questions.
But anyway, to prognosticate is to foretell or predict the future.
Oh. I see. Okay. That's kind of weird. Because I'm pretty well aware that the future can be very different than what it's supposed to be.
Exactly, which is why someone who has prognosticated with such accuracy is not one to be questioned.
Okay. So, what do you want? Like, I'm not really sure what you're
Very
doing.
simple. In 4 days' time, there will be a weather satellite launched.
Isn't
You
that
need
totally
to
a
be
space
there.
laser?
It is not a space.
Oh, okay.
It's also technically not a weather satellite, but again, the less details, the better. There are a couple of things to note about it. Number one, nobody is to know about it.
About what?
You, me, and my employer. You are to show up at the launch site 3 hours before launch. You are to use the back employee entrance. Everything will be taken care of to get you inside. At that point, you will need to have brought something with you. And this is the very, very important part of it. Because without this, you don't get to see him. Nothing. You need to bring with you a small sample of nanotech.
I can't get that.
You have 4 days to figure out how to.
Why would I don't want to steal anything from Dr. Casey.
I never said you had to steal it from Dr. Casey. I just said you had 4 days to acquire it.
Dr. Casey's the only one with nanotech.
Are you sure about that?
Well, considering where he got it from, yeah, right?
4 days. Show up 3 hours before with the tech. No one. Or you lose your only chance at ever seeing your friend. And maybe, just maybe, you can prove everybody who didn't believe that he really did exist.
Oh. Yeah, that... I don't know. Oh, man. I'll think it over.
As you look back up, the figure is gone.
Oh. How does everybody do that?
So for our comic readers, we're going to turn the page. We're going to get a small little interstitial scene. We're in a big, what appears to be lavish office. There is someone sitting behind a desk whose figure is cloaked in shadow, who we can't see. And they are talking to the person who just approached Lucha, Jeremiah. It looks like Jeremiah has just come out from talking from, obviously, a spell of some sort. And just sort of looks at them and goes, "The invitation has been sent out. Whether or not it gets responded to." And then the figure he's talking to responds back, "We'll give it a couple of days and monitor them. And if things don't go according to the way we believe that they will, there are other ways to get what we need." And as this is happening, we then get a look down to a gigantic book on this desk. And the book is open, what appears to be to a page in the middle. And there are the 2 pages that are open. And each one of them, if you look at it, has a newspaper article from the day after the scheduled launch of the weather satellite. And the first one says, "Launch successful, Viridian Incorporated, expects," and it goes on the whole thing. And the other one says, "Launch thwarted, satellite explodes on launch bay, thousands dead." And the next panel is, "Right now, I see 2 outcomes, each equally as likely as the other. Depending on how well your invitation went, depends on which way the pendulum swings." And now we're going to turn the page, and Jay, you've just been rather unceremoniously told by a 12-year-old to get the bleep out. What are you doing?
Jay sat down on the couch and is just hanging out until everyone gets back.
Is he playing Mortal Kombat?
No.
Ah.
Is he watching TV?
No, he is literally just sitting there waiting for them to get back.
Okay. Well, it's probably about 20 minutes after they all rushed off. But at this point, Anton and Kestrel come back. Anton, there is a Kestrel, you know who's sitting on the couch, but there is a man who you've never seen before sitting on the couch.
I actually nudge Anton immediately, going, "That's the guy. He was going to trick me."
Oh. So you must be from the government?
Name is Jay. But yes, I am from the government. I am here to help.
Yeah, I don't need your help.
Trust me, you guys need my help. You don't believe me?
It's kind of hard when you tell us kind of how the outcome's going to be.
What do you guys plan on doing about that quote-unquote space laser?
Editor's note, still not a space laser.
Space laser? What's space laser?
You have not watched the news?
I'm sorry, I've been working at Gendine and I've been running
Falcon.
Yeah, I'm working on Falcon, and I'm a landlord now, apparently.
Oh, you're working on Falcon, are you?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. And you question me being here.
I'm Arnold.
And you question me being here.
Well, Dr. Casey had asked me to come by. He had some tech that he wanted to show me. I've known Dr. Casey for many years.
Many years.
You do know that what I am currently working on is loosely related to Falcon, correct?
I'm in the mechanical suit testing division, so I don't know what their plans are. I just test this.
Okay. So let me once again explain exactly why I'm here. They are trying to gather a database of all the superhumans. Anyone with any special abilities that are beyond human, human normality. They want to document everyone, and they plan on doing so by any means necessary. Myself and my boss Stanley are trying to get out ahead of it and do it a peaceful way. Sign a paper, we'll put you in the database. All's free and good, you can go back to living your normal lives.
Anton, make an insight check as he says my boss, Stanley.
Oh, where'd my sheet go? Hold on a sec. Yeah, I have. My insight was added in, right? Yeah, it looks like it should be plus 18 on insight, I think.
So yeah, you didn't add it in, but either way, you got the 15 to get this anyway. Plus, you have the eidetic memory stuff. You only know of one Stanley, and you can't be certain that he's talking about that one, but you hope to holy heck it isn't. The only Stanley you know is a gentleman by the name of Stanley Harris, who happened to, well, you knew him, you know his name, but you knew him more by his code name back during the time you spent at Utopolis. His code name was Fox. He was also the guy who also had the hots for your now wife.
Stanley. Oh, God. Awesome. Oh boy.
So you don't. He didn't mention last names. You're not sure if that's the one, but that's the only Stanley you know, and that brings back some memories you'd rather not.
Stanley. All right, so y'all are trying to get ahead of the thing. So obviously the furball here to our left, and
That's me.
the fuzzball down in the infirmary are people that you are trying to register.
You as well.
Why
Well,
him?
me.
And Arnold isn't a metahuman.
Well, I mean, having him registered would probably be for the best because I didn't know of him in working on Project Falcon, so might want to give his names to my superiors and try to figure stuff out.
Anton just whips out his badge and shows him, "I've got the credentials. Like, I'm above board."
Trust me. And he looks down, smirks, looks back up, Arnold. It'd probably be better if you signed up. Or, at least just sign a piece of paper saying that I talked to you and that,
Leave it here for the lawyers, and we'll take a look at it.
Lawyers, huh? Mucker's, I figured was going to be the most complicated one, but I mean, at least he signed.
Who signed?
Malkier?
Really?
Yeah. Kind of burned the papers up afterwards, but that didn't really matter.
Yeah, I've heard things about that. You see the Sudoku book over there, right?
Oh, neat! I didn't know that was his! Ah! It's like a collectible.
What is wrong with you?
What?
At this point, Jay pulls out
His what?
his phone. He's texting someone.
Kestrel fly behind his back to see what he's texting?
All right. Well, Jay,
It was really quick text, so probably not. Like, it was a 2-word text.
I'm a pretty quick squirrel.
he is a pretty quick squirrel. He can get to New Orleans in
Like 7 minutes? Yeah.
Also, I don't know how Jindine and Falcon are going to enforce this. They have you seen the news lately? At least, the last hour or two.
I don't need to see the news to know what's going on.
Didn't they just have like a safe house blow up in the city?
Yeah. And what do you think's going to happen? They're going to come to all the metahumans that they know exist over here. And they know a lot of metahumans exist, after all. How do you think I'm finding all of them?
Yeah, you think they're going to come willingly?
Well, I mean, you guys can sign the papers and I'll absolve you of any involvement in the incident whatsoever. Or they can come and I believe Mr. Squirrel here found out exactly what they probably intend to do once, Boris and Natasha show up.
I'm having a really hard time trying to determine if you're a bad guy or just a lackey.
Oh, he smells like a lackey.
I'm neither. I am just a person that is in a much unfortunate situation right now, doing what I need to for the right of everyone.
Why don't you just stop it? Like, stop the registration thing. I mean, if you're in like a good position and you want to help people, isn't this obviously a bad thing?
Because if I stop the registration thing, there's nothing stopping them from coming after you.
Well, if we just stop them.
To be fair, there's nothing stopping them from coming after us as it is.
I can tell you, Arnold, that the way that they would stop all the metahumans is a way that you would particularly not want to deal with again.
They can't trank dart all of us.
I've been shot in the rear so many times. You've got no idea, man.
Well, Narasha, give me an insight check.
Yep.
On the emphasis.
I'm
again.
pretty sure I know what you're referencing, and if it's the case, you're 100% correct.
Yeah, you'll definitely notice that there was a ton of emphasis put on the word again.
Wait, what, again? What do you mean?
And at this, Jay just looks at you and says, look, until Casey's back, I really don't have any more purpose to be here. I have business I need to finish with him. But you guys need to figure out what you're going to do to deal with that totally not a space laser.
First, again? What? No, you've got business with me right now. Again? What did I
And
say?
God,
Jay-
flies Isaac up.
Jay just walks out.
So is Jay leaving?
Jay is currently leaving the Stormbreaker Technologies building.
Kestrel,
Yes?
run down and drag him back up. I wasn't done with him.
I'm not finished with you!
I mean,
I was
I don't,
not done with this conversation.
that seems like it'd be kind of rude. How about I just follow him and see where he's staying, so you can find him later?
Yeah, that works too.
Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta follow up.
Drag someone up here, follow them home, completely the
As-
same thing.
Jay, as you leave Stormbreaker Tech, go ahead and make me a perception check. Okay. It's not that hard to notice, but you definitely pick up some other things about this. Because you know the procedures and how they do this. There is definitely some sort of battle-suited SWAT squadron setting up a perimeter around Stormbreaker Tech.
Oh, okay.
What do you do?
As I exit, I reach into my back pocket, pull out my wallet, flip to my badge, hold it up as I walk by all of them. Then I walk over to where some of the higher-ups would be.
It looks like some guy who's getting ready to climb into, for lack of a better description, Hulkbuster armor.
Huh.
There really is no need for that here.
We have it under good authority that somebody who was responsible for the injury of 12 employees and the destruction of a safe house is in that building.
Yes, and I have intel into that as well, and that is where I'm heading right now. So probably need to look elsewhere because the only metahuman in there, I can't even get to sign the paperwork right now because he is unconscious.
He has this look of absolute disgust on his face, but your badge does outrank him.
Trust me, you're better off going elsewhere. Oops, wrong one. Hold on.
That wasn't the win button. There we
go. Oop, that's help if I pulled up the right one. Nope. That one.
Like, at what point do I come down anyway and see any of this?
Oh, yeah, he's standing right the heck down. There's some grumbling happening, and you just gonna call, stand down. Yeah. From the top, stand down. We got a code purple. Stand down. So at this point, Kestrel has made his way down. Roll me a perception check.
Alrighty.
So by the time you get down there, because there was a little bit of a conversation you guys had.
Right.
So by the time you get down there, you don't see, because you don't know what to look for when it comes to the setting up of a perimeter.
Yeah, not at all.
So you don't see any of that. You just see what appears to be Jay talking to somebody outside of a van. It appears that whoever this person is standing next to a giant suit of mech armor, which is currently being loaded into the back of the van. The doors are being shut. It's one of those no windows vans. He's getting in the passenger seat, and it's driving off.
Huh. What was that doing here? Kestrel looks around real quick and see if he sees anything else. What's Jay doing? Is he getting into the vehicle too?
Jay is starting to walk away down the road, and he turns down a side street and disappears behind some building.
Oh. I follow Jay. What do I tell Anton about the armor that I saw being put away? Maybe I can do both. Zooming back up to the building to get to Anton. Anton! There's
what Kestrel?
big armor. There was a big armor thing that they put into a van, and they drove it away. And that Jay guy, he was talking to them. And I think he has something to do with the guys who had the big armor.
Drove it away.
I will give you do know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that quote-unquote big armor probably refers to Gendine model number 11.
They brought the 11s this time. Interesting.
Oh, good. So you're aware of that.
They were. You said they loaded the armor up.
Yeah, they put it in a truck and they started driving away. That thing looked huge.
They're tracking us.
Well, what do we do?
Well, something made them stand down because they put it away. They wouldn't have put it away if they'd come out here and unloaded it. They were here to fight.
Did that Jay guy tell them not to?
I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't follow him right now.
Yeah, I was
If
thinking
they're
that.
planning an attack here, we're going to need help.
Like, do we need to evacuate? No, I guess. Do you guys have like defenses, like I don't know, like giant laser turrets on the roof or something?
As a matter of fact, we do. The AI speaks up all happy. And
There we go.
And they've actually managed to survive now that someone doesn't like to use their roof as their home. And you feel like every camera in the place is now turned on you, Anton.
Really?
What?
Stupid.
Just because I'm not the kid anymore does not mean I still cannot have fun picking on you. You should hear what the plane AI says about you.
Oh, they're talking about you behind your back.
Oh,
Don't make me use the Anton.
Oh, how adorable. It's been named after you.
I didn't name it.
Oh, I know. Hunter was all excited when he came up with that.
Does your AI usually have this much attitude?
It was worse. Remember, at one point it was a little kid.
Oh, wow, it's even worse.
Wait, Kestrel, that doesn't shock you that the AI was a little kid at one point?
I think
What?
he was told it.
I thought they told me about Hunter.
Well, he told you were hooked to the internet, actually.
Oh, yeah.
To be
right.
fair,
I told you he was the AI.
to be fair, we never actually said he was the computer AI running the building.
Okay, so yeah, rewind that. What?
They told you, right, that Hunter was hooked up to the building and was like the AI?
You mean Hunter? Like
It's a long story.
that explains why he has all that tech stuff.
It's a really long story. Like time travel and legendary swords and like we don't have time for that.
Oh, later?
Maybe.
Yes. All right.
I need to interrupt real quick because someone needs to go clip and zoom in because I just need the clip of Cham's reaction because that was the most wholesome thing I have seen in a forever period of time. Like, that was just full on, like, kid on Christmas morning, like, I can't wait for this. That was the most wholesome thing.
It sounds so awesome.
But in all seriousness, Anton does turn to the AI and have it upgrade the security of the building up to the highest level that he is authorized to set it to.
Protocols activated.
So what
Building
should
is
we
now
do?
password protected.
Oh.
All those who do not need to know the password, well, don't tell them.
We need to go see Dr. Casey, let him know,
Mhm.
and maybe we'll see how Lutra's doing.
Yeah.
Well, before we do that, we're going to scene shift because, Jay, you walked into an alley. What are you doing?
Walking, clearly.
Jay's on the phone.
Talking with anyone in particular or somebody who we're not supposed to know?
I mean, we can leave who he's talking to an enigma for now.
Okay. But what are our
Talking to
comic readers
Big.
going to see part of the conversation?
Yeah, so basically, the conversation that we'll see on the comic panel is Jay saying, yeah, still am having trouble getting both the non-humans to sign. Well, one is currently in a very, very horrible comatose state from energy drink. And the other is, well, not believing me, but I wouldn't really give him reason to because he's not aware of a lot of what happened before. As for the Kingseer, I'm not certain that he's aware that I know of what happened to him previously.
At this point, we're not going to see who, we're just going to get a comic bubble from the phone saying, very well.
Oh, and and in the comic panel, it would be blurred out.
Yep.
Just so no one can know who he's talking to. It seems like the Agamotto effect is going to happen a lot sooner than we expected.
That's not good. Are you ready to take action if needed?
I just hope I get the support that I need.
You know you'll have it.
From you, yes. But you know the support that I'm talking about. And fade to black.
Alrighty, we are going to fade to black back in the medical bay room, where at this point Lutra is now stabilized, hooked up to a bunch of machines, a bunch of drips, and just the regular beep, 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 and that's the onomatopoeia we have going into this scene as Anton and Kestrel enter. Beep.
Kestrel immediately kind of like drifts down to the ground as he like sees Lutra hooked up like that. It's like, oh.
Beep.
Anton just reaches up and hits a button to turn the beeping off.
Beep. Beep.
I think it's kind of important.
Beep. You turn the volume up.
They have alarms.
Beep. Beep.
Anton would know where this button is.
I don't know. Lucha was so used to finding his buttons for him.
No, Lucha was used to pushing his buttons.
This is true.
Not finding them, just pushing them.
Casey's looks.
Anton comes in.
No, before you say anything, Casey looks at you and goes, "So why do I have a message from Mr. Pontius asking me to call you?"
I don't know, but they had the Mark 11s outside the building.
They actually have the what? Hold on a second. And before he says anything, he's like, "Protocol's already been in place. I didn't announce it in here because you were busy."
Yeah. Apparently, they had them and were loading them up. They stood down for some reason.
I think they were going to attack us.
I mean, what other reason would they bring giant mechanical war suits into downtown?
So he looks at you. The Gendine battle suits, for the most part, come in three very distinct. Well, they're trying to do more, but three extremely distinct styles: the Mark 10, the 11, and the 13.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of those is modeled after. Well, the number 10 is directly modeled after Tony Stark's Prime. Number 11 is modeled after one Bruce Banner. And number 13 is modeled after Steve Rogers.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, except for these are not good.
Yeah. So the fact that they brought the freaking Hulk armors scares me.
What were they expecting here?
I mean, I'm less worried because I've tested those and they're buggy, but you know. Yes, they had big giant mech suits. I'm not terrified of these things yet.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
So what do we do now? If they left, I mean, what if they come back?
You don't when they come back.
They'll come back.
We'll be ready for them.
At this point, Ven, who was just sort of sitting in the room, just watching, goes, "This is... it's different here. Because there are rumblings about this back home, but none of this is as pertinent as it is here. Like, there are rumblings that Vernon's trying to do things like this, but he hasn't made a move anywhere on the East Coast. So
The whole registration thing makes me wonder, like, he's involved with that too, right? Like, that's kind of something he
That's his
started.
project.
That's
Yeah.
his thing. That's how he got elected. But you would think. Now, I don't study politics. That's my roommate. But you would think that if you're trying to implement something like this, you would start closer to home, where you have an easier breadth of influence. Why would you try and start something as far away from the White House as possible?
Maybe because you want to hide it.
Or maybe because there's something here you're trying to get rid of.
Well, we aren't terribly far from Utopolis. And then there's the whole Gendine facilities here.
Now, maybe this is just me, but maybe there's something or someone here that President Vernon is trying to eliminate, but can't do so through a direct assassination attempt. Because, well, president and all that. So maybe there's that?
But who here is important enough for that?
The next comic panel is going to be one of those every head in the room turns to look at the same person at the same time. Because there's only one person that you all can think of, and he's standing in the room with you. And all four heads, there'd be Hunter, Ven, Kestrel, and Anton, all turn to Dr. Casey.
Well, that changes this game quite a bit.
The problem is I don't know why he would want to target me. Yes, there are lots of things that I've done, but usually, I know who the people... And he stops. Oh, God.
What?
And he just... Hold on a second. He's this is the fastest you've seen him move. He sprints, and he's gone for 2 minutes, and he comes back, and he's holding a file folder.
Yeah, the last time you had a file folder, it wasn't good.
Yeah, but look at the name. But I'm showing you all the name on the file folder.
I can't see that close.
I can't see that.
Hunter.
It's backwards.
It's
but yeah.
mirrored, but
Runneth, gotcha.
And he just goes. He starts flipping through. It's not me he's after.
Oh no!
He just looks. We need to talk. So we need to go to the secure room.
okay, everyone into the big metal contraption over here.
What about Lutra?
Well, you happen to do see some stirring as you mentioned this. So there is some movement on the gurney. Keep in mind, these are high-powered drugs
Yeah.
that may or may not be nanotech assisted.
Right.
Oh. What's he trying to say?
I don't think he's trying to say. I think he's singing his song. We should go.
Then just like, I'll stay here.
Thanks. Wait, who are you again?
Don't worry about it. Come on.
Okay. I'll get your name later.
Time travel. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Something causality loop.
Something comic books. Hey.
Yes. So at this point, you all go back up
Comics!
to Dr. Casey's office, and he goes into just like, boom, 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 boom. Now, this is the first time you've seen this, Castro. So it goes into full, panic room lockdown, iron bars. Like, boom, 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 boom. It's like you're in a metal box at this point.
It's both cool, but also kind of unnerving, because I don't like being caged.
You're fine. You took care of my wife. I'm not going to kill you in this room.
Thanks!
So this folder was found in the ruins of Utapolis. Inside this folder is apparently some blackmail. This blackmail was originally intended for Andrew Vernon and, at the time, Wendy Bartlow. You now know her as Carla Bryce.
Oh.
This folder, specifically, is information about Hunter. Information that could quite possibly have been used to leverage both Wendy and the governor at the time. If anything, he's coming here using this to attack me, not to get to me, not even to get to Hunter, but to use Hunter to get to Wendy. Carla.
So, why?
Yeah, why does he need to do that?
Because I don't know. Because whatever she's planning, he was involved in and got cut out for some reason, or he's trying to cut her out of the end of the deal. I don't know. But whatever it is, he's trying to put the screws here to us to make it so that the city is exposed, so that he can come in with his people and force her hand. It's the only thing I can.
Well, I mean, aren't they launching that giant space laser?
Viridian incorporated it. Just because it used to be a shell company of the president's, which we kind of figured out, I think there's more to it.
The fact that they're calling what looks like a giant space laser a weather satellite, yeah, there's more to it than that.
To be fair, Viridian Incorporated is a weather information company. You see their drones all over the city.
Yeah, I know. I hit 3 on the way to work this week. I'm gonna have to buff those out.
It just looks at you.
So, what can we do, though, about this? Like, this all sounds so beyond me.
The thing is right now, we have nothing to stand on because none of this information was obtained in anything resembling any way that any normal law enforcement agency could utilize. We need to find a way to not only prevent whatever she's trying to do with the weather satellite, but also expose Vernon for what he is. The most pressing matter at the time, currently, is the satellite.
When are they launching that thing?
Now today is, what, Tuesday, so Saturday?
Yeah, that's kind of fast.
It's coming up soon.
Can we get them to play their hands together?
I don't know how we would.
Oh yeah. Well, he wants to do so. He wants to disrupt her.
Wait, what's he blackmailing her with information about Hunter about anyway?
He wasn't blackmailing her. There was a third party involved who was blackmailing both of them.
Right.
That's what this information is.
Right.
He, because of the blackmail involved, Vernon knows about Hunter. So I'm assuming he's now. This has been a long-term plan of his. He's now trying to put the screws here to get to her for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Why don't we just have her here?
Again, that's what I can think of. She's not going to show up and talk to her ex-boyfriend. Not going to happen, especially when, for the past 4 years, we all assumed she was dead.
Have you seen this guy run?
Yeah. I haven't spoken with her in 13 years, because remember, up until 4 years ago, I didn't even know I had a son. Because she neglected to tell me.
Yeah, it was interesting. So, do you want me to try to go talk to
No.
her? I promise I won't break the doors down.
No, I'm going to send someone else to go talk to her.
Well, we should probably get Hunter on if you're right. Like, it sounds like this is a really dangerous situation for him.
Here is the safest place for him.
But they know he's here.
But we know that they know he's here.
They're also not going to be brazen enough to make an overt move. One, targeting here because of the public presence that I present. And two, an overt move targeting a 12-year-old who, for all intents and purposes, just came out of a 4-year coma. It would be political suicide.
Yeah, they were at our door just a moment
ago.
Probably because of the stunt you two pulled in the safe house.
They threatened.
But we helped people.
Well,
yes, but
yeah,
they can also that's their justification for coming in and coming after you two. If they were coming after the 12-year-old, I highly doubt they would have brought the Hulkbusters.
They didn't like our improv routine?
No.
I thought it was pretty good.
We're going to scene shift back to the medical bay. What's happening down there?
Lucius finally kind of like becoming at least cognizant of the world around him. Sort of.
Yeah, at this point you just hear, it's probably muffled for you, but you just hear a, if you ever do something like that again, I'm going to make sure that the next time you're capable, you are launched as high in the air as I can physically make it happen.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, aside from the fact that you almost died.
Is that what this feels like?
Also, you happen to notice something that wasn't in that you know wasn't in your pocket beforehand, but is now in your pocket. There's a vial.
A vial?
The same little vials that Blitz came in.
Oh!
You know there was none in there when you last passed out because you threw it away.
Right. just grabs it, holds it up, it's like, where did this come from? Did you put this in my pocket?
There's, as you pull it out, there's also a note attached to the vial.
Oh.
And the note just says, just in case you need a way to make our little deal happen. And it's signed with a J.
He reads this, kind of mumbles it. Oh. That was real? Huh.
What was real, Lutra?
Nothing. I don't know if I think I'm seeing... What happened?
You went into a withdrawal, and Anton and I brought you back to Stormbreaker Tech.
Oh. So... Okay. Okay. Where... I think I'm gonna... Lucha, like, visibly tries to sit up for a brief second. Tries to, sit up. It's just like, I think I'm just gonna lay here for a while.
Yeah. We could do that. But you seem to be at least off the highest part of the symptoms now, so this probably will help a little more. And you're going to get another jet blast of ice-cold wind that I should probably roll that. It's again, he's using second wind,
Right.
so 23 just sort of heals, quote-unquote, 3 conditions, but basically it's going to snap you out of whatever fatigue set you're in.
Gotcha. So Lucia kind of blinks, like, it shivers a bit because, you know, it's cold. Oh. Okay, that feels... Oh, hi, Ven. How's it going?
Well, considering in the past 24 hours I had a 12-year-old piloted jet halfway across the country to come get me, I show up to a detoxing otter who then goes into a withdrawal seizure. You tell me how my day's going.
Okay. Well, it seems like your day's...
Also, I just saw a talking squirrel.
Oh, Kestrel, yeah, he's been around for a couple of days, I guess. Oh, he's still here? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they all went up to Dr. Casey's office to talk about something.
Yeah.
Something to do with the president trying to target him or somebody, and they mentioned something about the space laser?
Oh, yeah, it's totally not a space laser.
Okay, do we want to go up and join them?
Can I... Luke just kind of sits up and looks at himself like, I'm hooked up to stuff. I feel like I should probably be somewhat freaked out by all this, but yeah, I really feel pretty good right now.
That would more than likely be the magic and the drug.
Oh. I feel slow, too.
That would be the fact that you're getting all of the speed juice out of your system?
Okay. That could be a thing.
So at this point, we're going to scene shift back. To the office, where Casey's phone is just going off the hook crazy. Because he's going to, you get a first thing you do is you get a call. As you hear him talk, he's like, yeah, no, I need you to, then come back, yeah, here's the protocols, go ahead, yeah, okay, yeah. My office, yes. Yeah. And then he gets a text from Ven saying, Lutra's up. So he sends a text back to them saying, okay, and then another text back to who he was talking to saying, change of plans, medbay. So he's like, okay, apparently Lutra's awake, so if we're going to have this conversation, we need to move it downstairs. And then, poof. So we now move back down to the med bay, where it is being reinforced for talkie bits by Hunter doing his nanotech thing.
As Lucha's kind of, like, almost in slow motion moving, and, like, he's, like, half trying to take out the things that are in him, and then he's kind of like, maybe I shouldn't do it.
Yeah. So yeah, you got Dr. Casey telling you, no, you can't take those out.
Oh.
Ben and Hunter are sort of like combo blasting the walls of the med bay to reinforce it against, things being toxic. There's a nanotech shimmer, there's a little wind shimmer. It's kind of weird and kind of freaky, and magic and tech mixing in that way, but it's getting the job done. And Casey's just sort of sitting there waiting for, like, okay, so one more person, and then we can just...
Hang on a second. Question. There's the thing Lucha's laying on, is that like in a hospital bed kind of thing?
Yeah, no, it's an actual hospital bed.
Okay. So as everybody else comes into the room, Lucha suddenly kind of like slips under the covers and kind of like hides.
Aw.
You just hear Dr. Casey. You want to stay under the covers, that's fine. We know you're...
Yeah. He also looks extremely embarrassed.
How you can tell? He's on the covers.
I mean, as he was doing that. Like, as he was doing that.
You all right, Lutra?
It's really hard question to answer right now.
Well, you're answering me, which is better than when we found you.
I'm glad you're okay.
I don't know if okay would be the word I'd use right now. But thank
You're
you.
alive?
Something. You're alive, yes.
Okay, that
was Hunter, by the way.
right, yeah, I know.
Thanks, Hunter.
Like, actually, at Hunter's voice, Lucha kind of looks out over the covers and sees him. It clearly relaxes by just seeing him there. It's like, yeah, I guess I am. I guess that was actually a thing that might not have happened if you hadn't found me.
He just smile. He smiles. And, like, he's looking at you, smiling, and still doing there's just a film of nanotech shimmering around.
But by the way, Lutra, rent was due 2 days ago. I'll need that.
You have to talk to Barry. He said that they provide all that for the people.
Yeah, Barry and I are gonna have another chat here in a minute.
At this point, there is just a on the medbay door, and the door swings open, and everyone's favorite government employee is back.
How did you get in this building?
Didn't we watch you leave?
Did you not just hear Casey give me protocol to get back in?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Why'd you let him in here, Casey? He's from the government.
I know that, but there's a lot more going on here than meets.
Lucha looks
I
really
shut the
confused.
door behind me, and
It's secure.
okay. As I said, I'm here from the government.
But you're not here to help?
Well, you helped with the suits, right? That was you.
Who are
You're
you
the reason
again?
they didn't attack us.
That is correct. I'm here from the government. I'm here on government business. But what I've been doing is not for the government.
Are you
As
part
said,
of the deep state?
I am here to help. And I have a story to tell you all.
Fade to black.
Aw.
As it's fading to black, you hear Anton. Hey, Kestrel, here's your story.
So, how'd you like that cliffhanger, everybody?
Eh.
So, with that is going to do it for us here tonight. We are going to be back next Sunday, which is going to be the 21st. That's going to be issue 5. Name is in process. I haven't quite got that far yet.
I mean, that's a pretty
again,
long title right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have space. I think we have a character limit.
I think we know where we're going to go with the title, though.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure the title is It's Totally Not a Space Laser.
Totally not a space laser. I thought that was supposed to be issue 2.
We agreed it was issue 5, actually.
It's part 2, because we like to do that a lot.
Yeah. So this is going to be 1,000 Heartbeats 2, part 1. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday night and a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll be back here next Sunday, the 21st, with issue 5. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your night. On behalf of OPT, Chammy, Crimmy, Norestra, I am TG. Remember, keep hailing all. Good night.
That title is still way too long.